2/3 of leaders won't hire you without AI skills. It's no longer just a resume booster, it's the new baseline. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're turning AI from a buzzword into your ultimate digital coworker. We'll show you the exact tools to automate the daily grind and officially become an augmented human. Let's dive in. Let's be real. AI isn't science fiction anymore. It's moved out of the lab and right into our daily work. It's not some far-off concept. It's here, now, acting as a kind of digital coworker, and it's completely changing how we get things done. So, what does that actually look like? Let's dive in. And look, this isn't just some nice-to-have skill on your resume anymore. It's becoming a must-have. According to Microsoft's 2024 Work Trend Index, a massive 66% of leaders, that's 2 out of every 3, say they wouldn't hire someone who doesn't have AI skills. The message here is loud and clear. Getting comfortable with AI is the new baseline. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack what it really means to have AI as a digital coworker. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, practical stuff, how you can use these tools to master your daily grind and even supercharge your most important work. We'll also walk through a simple framework for actually implementing all of this. And we'll wrap up by looking at this pretty cool idea of becoming an augmented human. You know, the best way to think about AI isn't as a replacement, but as a partner, a collaborator. We're starting to see what's called agentic AI. That's just a fancy way of saying AI systems that can act like real coworkers. They can take on tasks independently, all while making sure they're aligned with your team's goals. And if you look at how people are actually using AI today, it's incredibly down to earth. Research from Gallup shows that the top uses are things we all do every single day, pulling together information from different places and brainstorming new ideas. See? This shows it's not about taking over entire jobs, but about making the day-to-day work we do way more efficient. Okay, so let's bring this down to earth. How does this actually play out in our day-to-day? We're going to focus on those universal tasks that eat up so much of our time and energy. You know, the constant emails, the never-ending messages, and just trying to keep all that information straight. Come on, we've all been there, right? You're jumping from a quick casual chat with a teammate to a super formal email to a client. That mental gear shift is exhausting. How many times have you spent, 10 minutes rewriting a simple 2-sentence email just to get the tone right? Well, this is where AI is an absolute lifesaver. Just imagine taking your normal, casual way of talking and, with a click, turning it into a polished, professional message. It's not just about spell check. It's about elevating your communication without losing your core idea. It's a game changer. So what's the magic behind this? It's a feature called tone modulation. The AI does more than just read words. It actually understands the feeling behind them. It uses something called sentiment analysis to act like an emotional thermostat for your message, tweaking the vocabulary to make sure what you write has the exact impact you intended. So once you start letting AI handle the daily communication grind, you suddenly free up all this mental space for the bigger stuff. Now, let's talk about how AI can seriously supercharge your core job functions. I'm talking about the high-value work, like analyzing data, building presentations, and really taking control of your time. Building presentations is a perfect example. Instead of one tool for everything, you can now pick the right tool for the specific job. Got a quick internal update where you just need the facts? Notebook LM is great for that. Pitching a huge client and need it to look amazing? You've got Beautiful AI or Gamma. The real secret is matching the tool to the outcome you need. And data? For so many of us, spreadsheets can be pretty intimidating, but AI is totally changing that. With tools like Microsoft's Copilot, you don't need to be a wizard who knows all the formulas anymore. You can literally just ask your spreadsheet questions in plain English. It turns a boring old grid of numbers into a conversation partner. Even our calendars are getting smarter. But what's really interesting is that different tools have completely different philosophies. Motion, for example, is like an aggressive project manager that plans your entire day for you. Reclaim AI is all about defending your focus time, and Clockwise is built for big companies to squish meetings together, creating more open time for everyone. Okay, this all sounds awesome, right? But how do you actually start using these tools without creating a total mess? The secret is to be strategic. So let's walk through a clear, simple framework to get you started on the right foot. Here's the game plan. First, and this is crucial, start with the problem you're trying to solve, then find the tool. Don't do it the other way around. Next, start small with a pilot project. Make sure you train your team not just on the how-to, but also on what the tool can't do. Then, set up some clear rules. And finally, measure your results and adjust as you go. You know, this quote from Microsoft's own team really hits the nail on the head. That fear about AI replacing us, it tends to disappear once you actually use it. They found AI didn't replace them. It made them more effective and even more creative. It's all about keeping a human in the loop. And that really brings us to the biggest idea of them all. This whole story isn't actually about replacing humans. It's about augmenting us. It's about enhancing our own abilities and totally redefining what human work can be. And here's a perfect, concrete example of what I mean. Take a look at editing a document. With an AI assistant, that task gets done, on average, almost 11 minutes faster. That's not some abstract productivity number. That is real time. 11 minutes given back to you for every single document you edit. And these gains are happening everywhere. People are finishing tasks almost 30% faster. They're catching up on meetings they missed nearly 4 times faster. And they're writing a solid first draft 85% more quickly. These aren't small tweaks. This is a fundamental shift in how work gets done. So this leaves us with the question we really should be asking. It's not, what can AI do? The real question is, what can we do better when we're working alongside it? The future isn't about humans versus machines. It's about humans and machines, together solving problems we never could have tackled alone.
The future isn't human versus machine. It's what we can build together. So, what's the very first daily task you're handing over to your new digital coworker? Drop it in the comments below. If you want to stay ahead of the AI curve, hit like and subscribe. We're breaking down even more advanced workflows next week. See you then.